I'm standing outside a small bar in a suburb just outside of Sao Paulo. The area is poor. I can see a few local people slowly making their way along the street, occasionally going into one of the dilapidated shops. A few children play with a deflated plastic football a few hundred yards away from where I am standing. I'm not alone as I sip my brandy. The owner stands a few feet away from me, also drinking a brandy, smiling and nodding. I cannot speak Portuguese and he cannot speak English, although he did understand the word brandy when I asked for it when I entered his bar. We both look out onto the streets, saying nothing to each other, but still having a conversation with each other in our heads. We are looking at the same landscape that hot afternoon, seeing the same things, the same people, and we occasionally nod and smile to each other when someone new passes by. They have now become part of our muted conversation. Brandy is coarse and rough, a cheap local brew, no doubt, and it burns the back of my throat with every sip. A small red pickup truck rolls by slowly. I can see one of the tires has a puncture, and the truck limps its way along the dusty road. I turn to my newfound friend to share this moment, but he is gone. Perhaps exhausted by our silent conversation, he has returned to the cool air inside the bar. With a swallow and a wince, I finish my brandy and go back inside where I am instantly blinded by the sunlight reflecting off the mirror behind the bar. As my eyes adjust, I look around at the other people sitting outside the cafe in Brixton Market, and like everyone else, I am wearing several layers of clothes to keep warm on this winter's morning. The clatter of cups and saucers compete with the noise of swooping gulls as they dive towards the choppy sea, hoping to catch fish that are being thrown up by the swelling tide. And as another wave comes crashing down, I see the woman is dark skinned, tall and slim, with shoulders bare and tight black dress, a shimmer and a shake and a toss of hair. She makes her way onto the dance floor. The loud bass of the amps courses through my body like shockwaves while the heavy reggae plays. The slow-moving bodies on the dance floor generate a heat that covers me like a shroud, and as I turn away, the heat becomes less intense, but still warm as I stand alone and scared in a clearing of woods. My father is playing games with me and hiding somewhere. A few minutes before, he had warned me that there were lions close by. I am 8 years old. I do not believe him. There are no lions in England. Or are there? Each second that passes, I feel more scared, and my vision becomes more blurred from the tears that are beginning to fill my eyes on that hot summer's day. I cannot resist any longer and cry out for my dad. At first quietly, trying to control the fear in my voice, and then louder and louder, and before long, I am crying aloud and straining my voice, calling out, trying to make myself heard through my sobbing. And there he is, appearing from behind a tree, sleeves rolled up and a grin on his face, ready to embrace his panicked son, who by now is giddy and exhausted by his sobbing and sense of helplessness. My vision is blurred because of my tears. I rapidly blink so I can see clearly, and as I wrap my arms around my father's waist and bury my head in his chest, I feel safe and secure, and my breathing begins to go back to normal. I release myself from my father and turn away from the bar and walk out onto that dusty Sao Paulo street, where the air is still dry and hot, and I can feel a small stone lodge in my sandal that makes me limp slightly.